Okay. Hello, everybody. Excited to be here, obviously, really pumped. My name is Tiffani Moore. One of the many things that I do is teach Yin Yoga. If you are unfamiliar with Yin Yoga, little spiel, just a little bit. Yin Yoga is the feminine aspect to asana, which is the physical practice of yoga. Yoga has 8 limbs, look it up. The physical practice of asana. In your more masculine classes, like your flow classes, 26 and 2, vinyasa, hatha classes, you're focused on the masculine parts of the body, the muscle, and holding the body up into certain postures. In yin, it's a little bit different, almost the exact opposite. We're focused on the more feminine parts of the body, the joints, the fascia, the connective tissue, and opening those tissues up at their own pace. So we allow the body to go where it needs to go, using props, blocks, bolsters, blankets, to hold the body up so you can let it relax and ease into those postures at its own pace. We hold every posture anywhere from 45 seconds to 3 minutes, maybe a little bit longer depending on your teacher, and it really allows you to connect with your physical body, what it feels like to let yourself sink into these postures, what it feels like to let the body open. The body itself holds a lot of energy, holds a lot of emotion and memory, so opening up those deeper tissues. The mind can travel, the emotions can travel. So in my class in particular, I like to offer a lot of breathing cues because this can be a lot more meditative and introspective if you allow this practice to be. So a lot of us are stuck at home right now, and you don't necessarily have access to a studio to offer you the props and the stuff that you need to take this class. So I thought it would be a nice thing to do to offer you guys some alternatives or things that you can use around the house to create or recreate the tools that we'll be using in our classes from stuff that you have at home. First, let's start with the things that you normally be using. A bolster. I like the wider, more flat bolster because there's a lot more room to expand on the body. Some of the bolsters can be more narrow, some of them can be cylindrical, but I like these in particular. The thing about the bolsters is they're a little bit more sturdy. They don't sink in like pillows, so that's the first one that we'll be recreating. Blocks, you'll be using blocks. I like to have at least 2 around. One can work depending on your practice, depending on your body. A strap, and of course, blankets. And last but not least, a face mask for your resting posture, your savasana, to be able to just, block out any light and just let the senses kind of soften and really truly let yourself rest into that posture. So let's start with what's most convenient for me at the moment is the blocks. Okay, so blocks. There are 3 different heights to 1, 2, 3. You see that? 3 different blocks, 3 different heights to the blocks that I tend to use in each class. Again, I like to have 2 of these on hand. But what you can use that most of us have in our house, and if you don't have them in your house, shame on you, is books. So grab some books, and you want to get them so they're at least similar in length, and you'll be able to take these books, place them down, grab a scarf or something and tie the books up so they're sturdy. You don't want them slipping around while you're using them, but books are a great alternative to be able to use for blocks. Helps. 3 different heights, like I did before. Fancy. So blocks. Books are a great alternative. Straps. This is a pretty easy one. A strap is long, has a buckle on the end. I like the ones with the double D buckles, the metal double D buckles. And if you don't have this at home, you can use just like a scarf, a long scarf that you wrap a dress or a shirt with. You can use a belt, and if your belt is too short, you can link 2 belts together. That works. So anything that you can use where you can, stretch out the length of your arms, that's pretty much the rule of thumb. If you can stretch out your wingspan, it'll be great to use. So that's pretty easy to be able to use that as your strap. So we got blocks, we got straps, we got Blankets, you know, I don't know what else to say. Use your throws, use your blankets. Get creative. You can use towels if you don't have blankets. I like to have 2 blankets. Depending on, you know, if you get chilly or something, you might want to wrap it over you, as well as we use them for support in various postures as well, like just like that. If you were to need some support underneath your knee, you can fold it over, bring it to a height that works for you, and then just support yourself so you can let the body rest. So blankets are pretty easy. I saved the most creative and involved one for last, which will be recreating the bolster. Okay, couple of things you can do. So you can grab your pillows from your bed or your futon. I don't know how you're living. So grab some pillows. 2 pillows will be great. And again, the purpose of the bolster is not to sink in, it's just to offer you some support. So you don't want it to be too soft. What can help with that would be stacking a throw on top, or even a towel on top to add some sturdiness, right? And then from there, a couple of things you can do. You can either just wrap this with your little belt or sash, whatever you want to call it, as long as it works. You can wrap this so it stays sturdy. But if you want a little bit more compactness in your homemade bolster, you can wrap this whole thing. Wrap this whole thing in a blanket or a towel. Let me put this off to the side. Lay down my blanket. Place the contraption on the thing. And if you have extra room, you can fold it over. But tuck. As you continue to wrap, you see how I'm tucking it in so it stays nice and tight. Keep rolling, keep tucking, and then grab your belt or your sash or your tie. Tie it up at the bottom. Tie it up at the top. These are long, I'm a thickums. Tie it up at the bottom, tie it up at the top, and then you have something that's a little bit more compact, a little bit more sturdy, so once you move it around, it won't fall apart on you. And those, my friends, are the alternatives that you can use for the props that we use in our yoga classes. Yin Yoga classes, restorative classes, any kind of class where you may need a prop or a tool to replicate a bolster, block, pillow, blanket. I'm just naming stuff now, but you get my point. You can use these things and get creative with what you have around the house to be able to incorporate it into these props and into your practice. I hope this was helpful for you guys. I hope this was very helpful for you guys. I will see you online. I will have the information in some place where I edit this. I teach at Heal House. Heal House is doing online classes. Heal House, HealHaus.com, as well as Sacred Brooklyn. This is, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know what day it is. I've been in a house and haven't had to go anywhere, so I don't know what day it is. I was gonna give you a date and tell you when it starts, but I'm lying. So look it up, healhouse.com, sacredbrooklyn.com, as well as I will be offering some personal classes, Yin Yoga, Yoga Nidra, and meditation, all kind of combined into one thing, kind of a workshop situation. So again, my name is Tiffani Armour, really excited to be able to be here with you and offer you this little tidbit of information on how you can use household products, things that we all have at home to some degree, to incorporate into your props in your yoga practice. I will see you soon, and thank you for watching.